Yeah. What's up with y'all, boys and girls, man? Hey, Stay Briggs here on this Money Making Saturday here with the Pig Dogs Morning Show. Of course, y'all know what we got going on today. We got a full schedule of Major League Baseball, WNBA action, 2 games, early start times on those today. We got the Western Conference Finals, Game 3, venue change. And we got the Eastern Conference Finals in the NHL today, venue change there as well. So ready to talk about it, ready to break it down, ready to help you guys make some money today. I'm trying to make some money today myself. Money making Saturday, man. Looking to close out May on a good note. Brian B, good to see you this morning, my man. How you doing?
No, glad to see you. And back to winning. I had a rough first half of May. It was brutal, but right now 18-7 runs. So hopefully I can keep it up today. I'm not liking the way the Dallas Wings line's moving. It's at 7.5 now, and it was 5.5 this morning. So a little bit volatile in the WNBA today.
Yep. Sure. I'll break it down, see how it pans out, see how it plays out. How you doing this morning, Jovan?
I'm doing all right. Looking forward to game 3 between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's been a one-sided affair in this one. Let's see if Ant-Man and company can, even the score. At least get one game closer in game 3 because let's just say the role players haven't shown up as of yet, and showed up to the party late, but he showed up nevertheless. And but his cohort Julius Randle had a no-show and got his ass benched in the fourth quarter. So it'd be interesting to see how he comes out the gate in this one tonight. But yeah, we got a full slate of Major League Baseball games, some early WNBA, so we got enough to wet the whistle until then.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Money making Saturday. Money making Saturday. Those Knicks, those damn Knicks,
Oh
man.
yeah.
Bunch of bums.
Man,
Bunch of frauds.
man.
Phony and you're a fraud.
Even I was on them yesterday, man.
Yo,
I thought that was their spot. I thought, like back up against the wall at home, no way they lose back to back in the Garden after doing all that.
well, I'll say this. This is the history of the Knicks. There's a reason why they haven't won since 1973. I wasn't born. I don't think Bryant was born either. The last time they won, with you know with the guys that they had on that roster, Clyde the Glide and all those guys. But yeah, I mean they have a long history of having deep playoff runs that don't amount to anything. And we saw this 30 some odd years ago with them and the Pacers. Same type of deal. You know, um, choking at Madison Square Garden. The rebirth of that with Halliburton and company. They followed up the must-win spot. With a clunker. The big cat, the big meow, the big pussy. He showed up again. You know, wasn't even around. For half the fourth quarter to because he's such a defensive liability. You know, they put their faith in Mitchell Robinson in crunch time. You know, instead of the big pay earner. With the contract that he has. So it's just one of those things where can the Knicks regroup for Game 3 because their backs are against the wall for real.
That's the multi-million-dollar question. But as I like to say, man, Indiana's a different team, monster, and animal, especially in the postseason at home, at the crib.
They run deep, and it's a problem for opponents. They they solidly run 10 deep. And last game they ran 12 deep. They had guys coming off the bench that you haven't seen all season for really. But that's the way they run their system. It bodes well for them. They have guys that on a night to night, and it's hard. And I said this in a past two team parlay that I put up. Um, that on a night-to-night basis, it's hard to identify who's gonna do what for them because they have so many guys that could take 15 to 20 shots on any given night. So and you see it in full bloom, quite frankly. So yeah, I pegged it to be a Pascal Siakam night. I was right about that. He went off, but that's their ace in the hole. Pascal Siakam's the one guy, well, and Halliburton, but Pascal Siakam is that guy, championship pedigree. He could put up those points. They might not, give him the ball enough for him to get it on a night-to-night basis, but he could damn sure do it, and that was on full display last night.
I agree. One thing I'll also say is shout out Coach Carlisle, man. Shout out to Coach fucking Carlisle. Shout out to you, Coach.
Championship coach, man. Y'all know in Dallas.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he went on one of the most improbable runs that year in 2011 when he won it. So it's really no surprise. Here he is again. Doubted. Some people say an overrated superstar. That was the narrative around Dirk back then. I remember. So it's good to see Coach Carlisle, still doing the damn thing. Shout out, Coach, man. Shout out, Coach. Speaking of the Dallas area right quick, I do owe y'all a video. I owe y'all a video of burning a hat because those fucking Rangers yesterday lost to the White Sox. Man, that's just disgusting. So I do owe y'all a video of burning a hat. I'll probably get that done today.
About the Yankees, losing the Rockies yesterday, that was a shock.
Well, after getting swept by the Yankees, Brian, I thought there was no way in hell we was going to go lose to the White Sox. No way in hell. And what we do? Our offense is just fucking terrible. It's terrible. It's sad to see. Because we actually have one of the best pitcher rotations in baseball this season. But we can't hit out of a wet paper bag. Speaking of baseball, let's talk some baseball today, fellas. Let's talk some Major League Baseball. We start our day in Boston, where the Red Sox, man, opened a can of whoop ass yesterday in the 8th inning. Oh, my God. I don't know what got into them boys yesterday evening, man. The Orioles pitching rough staff. Now, that's a staff that needs some real work. They got Eflin starting the game today. Red Sox about -120. We got the Royals and the Twins. Michael Waka on the bump for the Royals. And we got the Cardinals and the Diamondbacks. Merrill Kelly versus Liberatore. And we have the Pirates and the Brew Crew. Mitch Keller, no longer an ace, no longer an all-star, no longer even a winning pitcher. -115 today against the Brew Crew. Right?
Oh, definitely some interesting early matchups here. I like all the games, but as far as free picks go, it was almost a premium play taking the Minnesota Twins. I just don't like the -140 here. I think they're really tempting you into taking Michael Wacha with his success that he's had with his sub-2 ERA against Zebby here. Am I pronouncing his name? Zebby Matthews, who has arm talent. I was expecting a better first start from him, but I think he'll get that today. I like the Twins. And then when you spoke about the Pirates and one of our favorite pitchers, Mitch Keller, I just think this line really seems really baiting you in to take the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers let me down yesterday, but I think the Pirates get it done here today. So Pirates lean and Minnesota Twins is my main one out of this time frame.
Fair enough. Jovan, how you feeling?
How many games deep are we in?
4.
Yeah, it would have to be KC for me. Zebby Matthews, he has strikeout stuff, swing and miss stuff, but his problem is that he's wild with it. Walks are a problem for him up in the major leagues. They said he had a good minor league stint, but since he's been up in the majors, that first game I faded him. And it came through. I think it comes through again. Again, +120. I think the price is right for Michael Wacha to shine. I had him for a regression type of season. and it hasn't. I've been wrong so far, and so I'm gonna jump on board with him to get the job done. Um, Minnesota's one of those teams where they had that extended winning streak, but now it's time to fade them as far as I'm concerned. In certain spots, and this is a spot that I will be absolutely fading them. So it would be the Royals for me. And we on Arizona, St. Louis.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm on the Cardinals all day, every day. Merrill Kelly having a decent season. But at home, I just like my chances with the Cardinals. At a hell of a price, for me at least. Think it should be a buck 30. Just based on their recent play. Even though they had a 2-game slide, they bounced back nicely last game. I had them pegged last night. It should have been a premium, but it wasn't. I really did. I really didn't up until maybe 3 hours prior to yesterday's games. I really didn't have anything full game that I liked. I liked a lot of first fives yesterday, but once the cloud lifted, St. Louis was on the short list of games that I loved. So I expect for them to keep it going in this one against an Arizona team with a dreadful bullpen, and on the road. I like to fade them.
Fair enough. For me here in this first slot, I'm not really in love with all of baseball today. It just happens like that sometimes. I lean towards the Royals. I did take the Royals yesterday. Of course, didn't pan out.
You guys are killing me today.
Yeah, I want to take them. I'm probably gonna leave it alone though, Brian.
This doesn't make sense to me. Michael Wacha's a clear-cut, much better pitcher. The
Yeah,
teams are basically 50-50. I don't know.
Zebby
I can,
Matthews' favorite is crazy. That's all.
yeah, it is crazy. But I'm a crazy guy, so.
I would leave Royals. I don't know if I personally get to the window with it this early. I would sign myself back up on the Red Sox game one. The Orioles, they're just an outright fade at this point. An overrated, overvalued, outright fade. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I kind of like this little bounce back spot here for the Red Sox. They had those 2 tough series against the Tigers, against the Braves, but since then, I've liked what I've seen from them. I was on them in that Mets series. I see no reason not to be on them here in the Orioles series. The Orioles, until they show us signs that they're going to go the other way, they are who their record says they are, a bad team that's overpriced on the day. That's all I really like here in this slot. I don't really like that Diamondbacks Cardinals game or the Brewers Pirates, but we keep it rolling. We got the Giants and the Nationals. Jake Irvin on the bump tonight for the Nationals. We got the White Sox and the Rangers. Jack Leiter on the mound for the Rangers. White Sox got a dub yesterday. Do they stack back-to-back wins? We got the Cubbies and the Reds. Colin Ray versus Andrew Abbott. And we have the Padres and the Braves. Michael King versus Grant Holmes. Jovan, what you liking these for, my man? You're muted, by the way. Okay.
You didn't say the Yankees Colorado game, did you?
No, that's the next slot.
Sheesh. Tough sledding for me.
It's not a great day in baseball today. That's what I said. I love yesterday. Today.
That's what Romanelli said to me,
yesterday,
but I was like, it looks like a good card to me. Maybe I'm crazy today.
I don't like today.
Now, yesterday was one of those days for me where I couldn't see the forest on the trees until I got up close, and then I started seeing winner after winner. By then, it was too late, I mean, personally, it was fine, but as far as putting them on for premium plays, just too late for that. But with that being said, I will take a shot with the Nationals with Jake Irvin plus money at home. Um, you know, he's been okay. 3 straight starts with 3 or fewer earned runs given up for Jake Irvin. He did get bombed about a month ago, or 3 weeks ago rather. And last couple starts last year was a bad start, 5 innings, 5 earned runs. So I just think at home plus money. Um, they're just coming off a nice 5 game winning streak. Lost last night, got goose egged. Think they bounced back nicely for a solid performance. Cal Harrison isn't anything to write home about as far as I'm concerned. So you know if I'm fading San Fran, it's gonna be on the road. That's for damn sure. So let me get that plus money. I'm plus money hunting with the Nationals.
I'm right there with you. That's the only thing I really like here in this slot. Y'all hear me talk on the daily about Nationals plus money home dog. It's one of the most profitable spots last season, and they're showing those same signs and tendencies this year. I like Jake Irvin probably more than most people do. The Giants, I feel like they're not the same team on the road as they are at home. They're fadeable on the road. Sign me up here. Nationals plus money. I still like the current form that they're into, coming off of, they've won 4 of their last 5 yesterday. Losing yesterday doesn't just take me off of them. That's all I'm saying. Nationals. I would lean towards the Braves. Nah, hell no. Matter of fact, give me the Braves. They got their juice back. They got that man back. First pitch. Oh, my God. 400? Never mind. Braves. They got that man back, man.
Yeah, so prior to the game, guys are saying, oh, he's not going to have an impact. He's not going to have an impact right away, given, the injury and all that. Yeah, all right. When you're a special player, it can happen at a moment's notice, and it happened immediately. So
I think people forget, like, a healthy, he's probably the second best player in baseball. I got him right behind Ohtani, healthy. I'm sorry, that's where I got him. Like, he's him. I don't know how many more times he need to show that. He showed it again yesterday. I like him for a home run today too. I mean, I was so mad at myself for not betting it yesterday. Not even mentioning it on the show. I was so mad at myself for that. So yeah, Braves today, money line and an Acuna home run. I got that man back. Brian?
Yeah, I don't like the slot, but we're all in agreement here. I like the Washington Nationals as far as the best play of this grouping here. They've won 6 of the last 8. They're playing good baseball, I think, all season long. The Washington Nationals are a team to keep an eye out, like you said, when they're at home getting plus money. Definitely a spot that you want to be at. So I think the Nationals are playing. I also like the Braves. I'll lean towards Atlanta Braves in this slot too, but Nationals are my top one.
There we go. Mariners and the Astros. One of my favorite pitchers in the whole wide world was in the boat today. Who? Woo. That's who. He got a tough assignment on the other side, though. Framber, the extensions, man. Yeah, I know what it is. We like Framber here on this program, too. Should be a really good game. Mariners and the Astros, even line. Mariners slight favorites on the road, minus 115, I see right now. Max French Fries. He's been on a roll this season. Yankees minus 325 over the Colorado Rockies. We got game 2, Orioles, Red Sox. Lucas Giolito. And I see undecided. And Blue Jays and the Rays. Jose Barrios and Shane Baz. I'm up first here, man. I'm on the under Mariners Astros. 7.5. Sweaty. But I think we get through. I think Wu has a really solid outing. He's been serviceable this season. He's been good. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said service. He's been good this season. On the other side, I think Framber will be just fine in this outing. I think this got like 3-2 written all over it. Going either way. Personally, I would probably say 3-2 Mariners. But I like the under way more than I like the side. I would also probably go first 5 under, and I would probably put a good amount of money on the Nerfy in this one too. So, just my thoughts on that one. Yankees, Rockies, it's really almost unbettable, but in order to get the plus money, you got like 3.5.
Yeah. And even that's not that great of a number.
It's not.
Plus 115 for minus 3.5.
Terrible.
I wish they'd let you take it to like 7.5, just because, if you're gonna take it, you might as well go for a butt whooping.
Yep. So it's just not a playable play for me. I mean, I would say maybe, honestly, I'll probably go back to the Rockies, knowing me. Fuck it, take a shot.
They won their game for the month though, so I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I'm not. It's not a premium play or anything, but what time is this game? 3:00. I could see myself sitting here sprinkling on the Rockies later on today. Y'all know how I get with them Rockies when they get to winning. So I'm just letting y'all know my thoughts. Not a premium play or anything like that. Of course not. And I would go Red Sox game 2 as well. Just continuing to fade the Orioles. I know it's Lucas Giolito. It's probably going to be a pretty sizable favorite. Yesterday wasn't supposed to be Morton for this game, so it might be Morton again, but it may not be. It's undecided. So just keep an eye out on it. But I like the Red Sox. Both games. Right?
For this one, I'd probably take the Yankees minus 3.5. It's not a premium pick or anything like that. I just think the Yankees got their feelings hurt yesterday, and they might make an example of Colorado today. So whatever you can lay in that one, my max was 3.5. But I like the Chicago White Sox plus 1.5 as the best bet of this section here. Yeah, Rangers are struggling. I think they get the W, but I think it's a 1-run game. Leiter hasn't been that great. Cannon's been serviceable. So I think this is a low-scoring 1-run win for the Rangers. I'll take the White Sox with the points.
I forgot to talk about that game. I like the under in that game too. Her ass. Rangers bats are ass. They're terrible. I really want to take the White Sox money line. I really want to do it. This is baseball, bro. In order to win, you got to score at the end of the game. You pitch as well as you want to, but you got to hit. And we can't do that for shit. Under. Nerfy, first 5 under. All of the above. Javon?
Yeah, I'm on Seattle and Houston under first 5. Just given the pitcher matchup, I don't think these batting lineups get a whiff. That's just the long and short of it. Don't got to deal with the bullpens. All you got to do is bank on these two strong pitchers to get the job done, and I think they do so in this one. So it'll be first 5 under for me. Red Sox game 2. I don't care if it's Lucas Giolito on the mound. He had an extra day's rest, which should serve him well. And this is a get right series for the Red Sox, who are at 500, and if they handle business, they'll be well supplanted on in above 500 territory. So this is their chance. They should get the job done.
If it's more than that game, can I interest you in an extendo?
You guys hate on my Orioles today. I'm telling you.
No, just because Giolito can't give it up. I like the over as well, and that's if they get the game played. It was sunny out. Now it's kind of rainy, dreary, whatever. I'm not too sure. I haven't been out as of yet, but I seen it get dark out there. So yeah, I could see them getting the first game in definitely, but I don't know what the future holds for the weather later on. Yeah, so over Red Sox, that'll be part of a parlay. Um, Probably one of those crazy long parlays that I like to do, for fun. Um, and then listen, Colorado. Um, Colorado plus 1.5 full game, but if you don't like the bullpen, because that bullpen will give it up at a moment's notice, I think you could still get plus money, plus 1.5 first five. If you adjust it, just given the way the money line reads out, you still get it plus money, plus 1.5 first five. Go ahead and take it. Kyle Freeland, he's a lefty. You already know Max Fried, he's a lefty. And last five, both of these teams, both of these lineups are hitting below the Mendoza line. So against lefties. So yeah. I think that's a solid bet. Plus money, plus 1.5 first five. If you can get it.
Rangers really fucking lost to the White Sox yesterday. Like, that really happened. All right, man. Last slot in baseball today. We got the Guardians and the Tigers. Casey Mize, man, he's been having a hell of a season. Favored to get it done today around minus 130. We got the Mets and the Dodgers. Mets, the OMG Mets lost at home on a Friday. What the hell?
I woke up surprised to see that. I wanted to bet it was bottom of the 10th tie game. Mets had a chance to walk it off. I was like, I lost this game.
I was on the Mets in that one. That was sad.
Yeah, I was on the first five. So you already know that was a straight loser.
Got the Phillies and the Athletics. Sanchez versus Springs. We got the Money Marlins versus the Los Angeles Anaheim Angels. Soriano versus Cal Quantrill. How you feeling here, Brian, to close out baseball?
This is a nice slot here. A lot of bettable games. Out of the grouping here, I think the Mets bounce back and get a W over the Dodgers. When I see Dodgers at plus money, like plus 110 or so. I don't know what the exact number is right now. That makes me run to the other side. Yesterday I liked the Dodgers, but today I'm going to jump on the other side. But I think the stronger play is the Athletics, the homeless Athletics against the Phillies. I like Christopher Sanchez, but I like Jeffrey Springs a little bit more here. And it was a one-run game, close one yesterday. I think they get the W today. I'll take the Athletics.
Homeless A's for Brian. Y'all kill me with that, bro.
Well, I keep saying Oakland. I've got to get that out of my head. Oakland.
No, I think I say it. I be saying it too. I gotta stop too.
I do that with the Chargers in San Diego all the time. I'm still calling them San Diego. But.
So Vaughn, how you feeling here, man?
Hey, listen, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's gonna be the Angels for me. And it's gonna be external clip style, -2. You could probably stretch it out to -2.5 if you feel lucky, or -3. Cal Quantrill's on the mound, and we already know what he does. He gives up the long ball, he gives it up in any kind of way that you want him to give it up. And look, I'm just riding this on wave that the Angels are on. Now let me just make sure that did they because last time I checked and I didn't catch the final score, I don't think they won last night. Am I correct?
Yeah, they won 7-4.
Right. All right. Because when I last saw it, and I just had them down. I just pegged them for the win. They was up 3-0. Everything was smooth. But when you go to sleep and get back up, you don't know what's happening. I didn't actually check that late score. So yeah. 8-game winning streak. Got the job done easily, and they're facing one of the dregs of Major League Baseball in the Marlins. So
Poor Alcantara, Sandy. Yeah, he's really poor guy. I got to give up on him.
Me too, Brian.
He's done.
It's just one of those things where
He just needs a scenery change. That's what it is.
Maybe Baltimore. The Orioles can make a trade for him. He could use a pitcher.
who's that?
Somebody.
Mr. Alcantara. Yeah, Mr. Sandy here.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, it'll be the Angels for me, and it'll be anywhere from -2 to -3. Just pick whatever you want. This team's hard as hell.
Poor Sandy, man. He needed his ass cranked.
Yeah, he used to be the guy you could jump on the Marlins at -115 against a team like not the Yankees, but like a strong team and get everybody to be on the other side, and he'd come through for you with a Marlins win. But that's not happening this year.
He was like a guaranteed win for the Marlins, like just cash. It started out good this season too. He started out 3-0. I was like, my man, he's back. And I think they've now lost like the last 6. Sad. For me to close out baseball today, I'm on the OMG Mets, man. Bounce back at home on a Saturday night. I thought they was going to win on a Friday night after the disappointing series in Boston. Had it until they didn't. Let the Yankees off the hook. I think they get back today and set up a really, really interesting game tomorrow. That's probably Sunday Night Baseball. It got to be. Yeah, come on now, Jay. You know they put Dodgers Mets.
Yeah.
All right, come on now. So I think the Mets win today and set up an interesting game tomorrow, Sunday Night Baseball for the series. As I've said a lot this season, I trust the Mets at home, at the crib. They're a different team, monster and animal at home, at the crib. I don't like fading the Monstars often, but I'll do it today. I'll fade the Dodgers again. I had the Mets last night. I'm gonna take them again tonight. So give me the Mets, the OMG Mets. I'm also gonna take the. I'm going to take the Angels. Like Javon said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They hot. The Marlins are ass. I'm just going to go -175. I need to get cute. I mean, I'm not mad at nobody going to run line. I'm probably just going to parlay it up, though, with something else. Or just go -175. I'll pay up for it. They're hot. I'll pay up for it.
I think every last one of their wins, maybe except for one, have come by the run line. And it's it hasn't even been close.
7-4, 10-5, 10-5, 7-5. There's 1-4-3 against the A's. But yeah, every other game on the win streak, you're right, has been on the run line.
Yeah, the bats are cracking.
You out there, you're right.
When your bats are cracking, man, it is what it is. There's nothing the opponent could do about it. You get to that bullpen, you get to anyone's bullpen, if you're hot, you're going to score some runs, and that's what we're seeing with the Angels. And they're at home. Yeah, it's only one way for me, man. You got to ride them. You got to ride them till the wheels fall off, man.
They just not a team I like to do that with, man. They're not. But I got to put a little biasness to the side, I guess. I'll rock with them. I'll let it run line. And that's it for me today in baseball. I told you I'm not in love with baseball today. I tell y'all when I love it, tell you when I don't. Today's one of them days where I just don't. I got a couple premiums though today though. We'll see. Fuck around, go 15-0, sweep the board. That's how it go.
Yeah.
We skate on over to the NHL. We got Hurricanes and the Panthers. I should have went to the WNBA, but it's all good. Hurricanes and the Panthers. Panthers 2-0 series lead, man. Now they're at home. And they're sizable home favorites, -150. Total 5.5. Man, oh man, oh man. Brian, do we bring the brooms out? Is this what's starting like fuck? Like, I gotta bring the brooms out, man. I thought the Hurricanes would do something in this series, man. But as I've said a lot, The Hurricanes, or I thought they were of that ilk of stupid, dummy, crazy at home at the crib. Like, you can count on Carolina at home. To lose both games at the start of the series at home is not encouraging at all. So for them not to show up at home where I typically trust them, there's no way in hell I could trust them on the road here. Hey, Panthers for me. Don't want to overcomplicate it. I'm gonna just go money line. I'm not mad at nobody taking a puck line, but I think that's a little greedy. I'll just take my minus 150. How you feeling, Brian?
Yeah, I lost on Carolina in game 2 as a premium pick, and I couldn't get on a premium pick on anything in this one. I just everybody I talk to has Florida, so that kind of scares me a little bit. We saw Florida, I think, lose that game 3 to Tampa Bay in that one loss. I just think if I'm going to bet the game as far as sides go, I'm going to put a little bit on the money line of Carolina. I like the under here. I think that game 1 went over, but game 2, barely. What was it, 5-0? So it just skated under that number. I think I'll take the under as the main play, but I'll lean towards Carolina on the money line just because everybody I talk to, like 10 people out of 10 people, said Florida. I'm a little scared.
Fair. I like that under with you in that one. If Carolina gonna do anything, they can't go down 2-0 the first 2 minutes of the game again. Like their goaltending and their defense is gonna have to get better. So I like the under here too. I like the under. That's hockey for today, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk some hoops. We'll go to the WNBA first. 2 games today. First 2, or only 2. First one is a really good game. 12 o'clock start time, 1 o'clock, depending on your time zone. We got the defending champs, the New York Liberty. 3.5-point road favorites over the Indiana Fever. Are the Fever slightly overrated, overvalued here? Or are they just getting real respect and they have taken that next step? Too early to determine? I'm interested to hear you guys' thoughts on this. Then we got the Wings, man. The Buffalo Wild Wings. No, I'm kidding.
I could go for some wings right now. Some Parmesan wings, some barbecue wings, honey mustard wings.
I'll go for some wings today, too. They're playing the Atlanta Dream. This line's growing. Dream now 7.5-point home favorites. Jovan, how you feeling, man?
Yeah, the Indiana Fever, a lot of hype surrounding this team, of course, because they have Caitlin Clark. But there's a lot of new pieces on this team, and they're not quite in the form yet. And, will they be, among the elite in the W? I'm not too sure as of this year. But I will say, that, if you have, the likes of Clark and the other talent that they have, it should come together, rather fast. With that said, I don't think they stand a chance today against the top dogs of the W, the New York Liberty. Who, let's just that in a couple games, let's just call it what it is. They're looking like a well-oiled machine. So I can't go against them. The line has moved into the territory where, you're not going to get the best number. You haven't gotten the best number. I think it opened up at 1.5, quickly went to 2.5. Now it's at 4. But even with all that, I still think it's a safe price or a safe number to back the Liberty on the road, in this spot. That's just my opinion. I would look towards the under if anything else. These teams are capable of scoring, but something tells me that early game, 1 o'clock start, you might see some sluggishness between these two. As far as the other game, I'm not all that impressed with the Atlanta Dream. In my opinion, Brittany Griner, she's not to say she's on her last legs in the W, but she's not the player that she once was. and I don't think they have garnered the respect, not for me at least, that to lay seven points even against the Dallas Wings. So by default, I'll be on the Wings in this one.
For me, that Liberty Fever game, I'm on the Liberty. I'm gonna lay it. The Liberty, in my mind, in my opinion, y'all know I love the Liberty. I've said the last 2 seasons are the best team in the division. We rode them last season all the way to the chip. I think they're the best team in the WNBA this season. I agree with Jovan. Early this season, they already look like a well-oiled machine. I'm higher on the Fever than most. I think the Fever will be the third or fourth best team in the WNBA this season. Right now, my power rankings, I keep telling y'all, I got Liberty 1, Lynx 2, Fever or Aces 3 and 4, somewhere, and then everybody else. That's kind of my thought process right now in the dub. I really like some of the additions for this Fever team. And, of course, we know how good Caitlin Clark is, but it's still levels to this shit, man. It's still levels. And while I think the Fever will be and can compete later on this season, I think it's still, like Jovan said, kind of early for them. Still pieces coming together. And playing the best team in the dub is not a place to really figure things out. We saw them down to the who was that? Who they played the other day? They were trailing all game.
Was it Atlanta?
Yeah, Atlanta. They still have the Fever still have defensive issues that they got to figure out. I don't worry about them offensively. I worry about them defensively, and the Liberty can light up anybody. So Liberty for me today. Still love my Fever though. Still love them. And then the other one, I don't love that other game. I agree with Jovan. The Dream haven't really showed me anything to garner laying 7.5. But in that same breath, the Wings so goddamn overrated and overvalued. They're still bad. Even with Paige, even with Enrique, they got to figure some shit out defensively too. So if you think the Dream are going to be hot from 3 tonight, take the Dream. If you think the Dream are going to be struggling to shoot, struggling to score, take the Wings. I personally lean towards that the Dream are going to hit those shots because I don't trust the defense of the Wings. So I'm leaning towards Atlanta, but I don't love it. I don't love it at all. I'm probably not going to bet it. So that's my thoughts on that. The Wings, I want to be on my hometown team. Y'all know that. But they got to show me first. They got to show me before I just buy into the hype train. That's my thoughts. Right?
Yeah, I locked in early on the Wings plus 5.5. I'm kicking myself now that it's up to 7.5. So we'll see how that one goes. But I got a little bit of fever this morning. I took my temperature. It was like 102, 103. So I got to go with the Fever here. They're usually overbet and overpriced, but New York is like the king of that. And I think this is a circle game for them. They're Fever are 1-9 last 10 against Liberty. So this is going to be a big crowd. They'll be rocking on Saturday night. I think it's a one-possession game. I'm going to go with my Fever, at least tonight, plus the points. They killed me the other night missing free throws. When you see those girls step up the line, they're 85% shooters, and they're missing 1 out of 2 every time. Then you know that your goose is cooked.
They covered me tonight.
They cover, yeah. Well, some people got minus 5.5. Some people got the 4.5. So it was just one of those things. But yeah, I'm going to take the Fever here plus the points. I wish I would have had it as a premium, but can't go back now.
Yep. We'll see how it plays out today in the dub. Early start time, starting about 2 hours. We got last and final slot, man. The NBA Western Conference Finals, Game 3. Venue change. We're in Minnesota. Y'all know what I call them when they're in Minnesota, the house of disappointment, but they don't got no room for that shit today. They back up against the wall, man. They down 0-2. They down 0-2. And they dogs at home. And their dogs at home. Last I checked, it was what, 2.5? Oklahoma City.
The disrespect. Yeah. Think of some offshores have +3 or -3, however you want to say it. But yeah, the main recreational books have 2.5, so they're still hanging up at 2.5.
Everybody knows, man. I've been a lead proponent of just bet the Thunder every fucking day for the last 3 seasons. Like Thunder buddies for life, cover buddies, all that shit. Everybody knows I call the Minnesota Timberwolves the house of disappointment. Just when you expect them to do something at home, they almost never fucking do it. That's why the house of disappointment was invented. But you got to listen to that statement all the way through. Just when you expect them to do something at home, they never do it. They're not expected to do nothing at home today. They're dogs at home today. Had they been the favorite, I would be on Oklahoma City in a fucking heartbeat. Back up against the wall, man. Season on the line. I'm expecting an uptick from the role players today of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Oklahoma City is a really tough place to go and play. It's one of, it's a loud venue. That small town be turned for their Thunder, bro. So it's no surprise that we've seen the role players all playoffs long going to Oklahoma City and struggle. But in the venue change, coming back home behind their home crowd, I think the Timberwolves were spun. I think Anthony Edwards has a much better game, man. You can't disappear in the second half. I like what I saw from him much more in game 2 than I did in game 1. Anthony Edwards, if you are that guy who a lot of people think you are, man, today got to be one of them moments, man. Today got to be one of them days, bro. It got to be. I think the refs keep the whistle in their pocket a little bit more for Oklahoma City with them boys being on the road. I think this is going to be a nip and tuck basketball game all the way through. But personally, where I'm at, I'm on the Minnesota Timberwolves straight up on the money line. I think they at least make it somewhat of a series. I still think Oklahoma City's the better team. I still think Oklahoma City's going to the finals. I don't think the Thunder bring out the brooms, though. I don't think they bring out the brooms. I think this Minnesota team got a little too much heart, a little too much respect, and I think they show up at home. I love the fact that they're dogs in this game. I love the fact that they're dogs. Had they been a favorite, I promise you I would have went the other way so fucking fast. But listed as dogs, they're not expected to win here, which is great, which means they don't fall into the house of disappointment angle. T-Wolves. Brian, how you feeling?
Yeah, the first game, the total opened up at 219. Second game was 218. Now it's 217. I think it pushed up a little bit to 218 in some spots, but I like the under. I think the Wolves need to hold the Thunder to under 100 points. I don't think either team gets to 100 today, so I'm going to take the under 217.
Couple questions I see where the defense coming from. Timberwolves still one of the better defensive teams, and at home I expect an uptick there. I expect guys like Jaden McDaniels to have a better game at home. I expect Julius Randle to have a better game at home. Naz Reid, Dante DiVincenzo. I think those guys at home, aided behind their home crowd, have a better series. Yes, we knew they were struggling this series because Oklahoma City is one of the best. They're a perimeter defending team. The Timberwolves have yet to play a perimeter defending team last year in the postseason and this year in the postseason. All the teams they played were offensive teams. This is the first time they really had to play a defensive perimeter style team, and we've seen them struggle. At home today, though, I think that you really get an uptick from those other guys. That's just my thoughts. Just answering some of the questions. Jovan, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm on the under as well. You saw the first 2 games. The opening total was what, 112.5, 112.5 and 113.5 respectively, somewhere around there. And then it got bet up both of those games. This one started at what, 217, 217.5, somewhere around there. So you're seeing quite a difference in the opening number. And it's opening like that. I like to go the other way. I'm on the under in this one. In order for Minnesota to be competitive, they're gonna have to play like they did in the first or second quarter of Game 1. Which is more of a defensive grinded out type of game. If they want to go blow for blow with the OKC Thunder as far as pace and the way they like to play, they're gonna lose. They're gonna get ran out the gym. It's that simple. So whatever they were doing in the first 2 quarters of this series is what they need to do. Um, I know Ant wasn't engaged in Game 1. He'll be more engaged. He'll go downhill. But I would like to see the brain trust of the Timberwolves to think kind of outside the box. They do have some talent on that bench with Terrence Shannon, guys like that who could, actually fill it up when the likes of Naz Reid and others are just clanging it up there because, I, I like the Timberwolves, but one thing I know about them, just watching them throughout the years in this iteration, is that their role players aren't consistent enough, and they have guys that are kind of long in the tooth, like Michael Conley Jr. Um, you know, he's getting played out of this series. He's not looking well. You just have guys that are really all or nothing type of guys. If they're hot, they're hot. And if they're cold, they're damn cold, and that's what you've seen out of these guys in the first 2 games. So they're gonna need some help from these guys. But like I said, I would like to see Finch, think outside of the box and go deep in his roster because they do have some talent that could score. Nikhil Alexander, he performed somewhat representable in that last game. Maybe he gets a little bit of burn. But yeah, it's kind of a matchup nightmare for Minnesota if they're trying to play OKC's game. So they need to switch it up, kind of go deep into the shot clock
They
to
need
get theirs.
Gobert to get big, and they need Naz Reid to have a fucking good game. Like that's what they need.
Listen. This is coming from somebody who has looked to Naz Reid in the regular season in player props, and he's been the one to kill a crazy one of those crazy parlays that I like to put up. I'm talking about 16-teamer style. He blew one up for me earlier this season for a 66,000 banger. So I listen. He's one of those guys who if he's on, he's on. If he's not, then yeah, stick a fork in him. He's done. It is what it is. But yeah. That's why I said look towards down that bench and see what you can get because that's what other teams have been doing. You saw with Indiana, they went deep into their bench. Listen, I mean OKC they could go deep down their bench as well. But they got the talent to do that. I don't know. They have too many liabilities in this. On their team that's rotational guys. That big stiff that they have, he's useless. And you know who I'm talking about. Rudy Gobert. I'm talking about you. He's a straight liability.
I need a Lakers closeout game, Rudy Gobert style game.
Oh God. Yeah, they were just
toying with the Lakers. Everybody want to show up and play when it's against the Lakers. Everybody want to play.
Yeah, because the Lakers have no size. Because the Lakers have no size. That's all. So they was toying with them.
Put Chet little ass in
Yeah.
that.
Listen, man. I've never liked Rudy Gobert's game. Yeah, maybe if this was 20 years ago, maybe or 30 years ago rather, he might be about something. But yeah, need a little bit more athleticism than what he brings to the table. If you're a center nowadays.
Fair enough, man.
Or if you're the Joker, who's a multifaceted player, and he's not that. He can't score worth a damn. He can't pass the ball worth a damn. and a lot of times he's getting big boyed by smaller players.
Yep, man. We'll see how it plays out tonight, fellas. We shall see how it plays out. Will the Timberwolves respond, or do them Thunder Buddies take a commanding 3-0 series lead? Money Making Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. We talk about everything under the sun: baseball, hockey, WNBA, NBA. Plays we love the most, though. You can find those over at Pick Dogs Premium. Brian, what you got over at Pick Dogs Premium today, buddy?
Oh, finally broke out of my early May slump here. 18-7, all sports run 72%. I got my best bet in the NBA, my Titanium. Pick that up for $25 at pickdogs.com, or get it as part of a 3-pack, my private players club 3-pack, 1 NBA, 2 Major League Baseball for $50 at pickdogs.com, or team me up with one of these guys and a 2-for-1 capper special.
Hop on with Brian B. Continue to do the damn thing, ladies and gentlemen. What you got going on today, Jovan?
Yeah, I got a 3-pack in Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. Got 2 regular plays, and I have a player prop that should be a hit. I've been no hit with those player props as of late. So and it's a plus money jump off. So might want to touch that. Got 1 MLB play as of right now, but I will be putting up 2 more. That's a fact. So I'll have a 3-pack in that as well in later games. Just like the way it sets up for these two games, and one of them's a plus money one as well. So been dipping into the first 5 market as well. That's been fruitful. So check it out. Jump on something long term.
Hop on Jovan, ladies and gentlemen, and kick the crap out of the books. For me today, I had a really small card, NBA, and maybe 1 baseball. Like really light card for me on a Saturday. I'm just not forcing it today. I told you I don't really love baseball. Probably gonna chill in the dub. Even though we've been seeing the board really well, I'm probably gonna chill there. And then just NBA. So smaller card. I'll be back in action tomorrow and throughout the week, of course. It's just how it plays out some days. Sometimes you got 8, some days you got 2. It's part of it. Money Making Saturday, though, man. I'm hitting the ground hard with the 2. Y'all know what time it is, parlay time. I'm going to put this parlay in today, too, man. Rangers busted up our streak of the 2-team chalk parlay. I had hit like 4 or 5 in a row this week. Rangers busted it up yesterday. Trash ass. I'll start a new one. Brian, parlay time, man. Parlay.
I got a cross-sport parlay, Minnesota Twins money line. Fever. I got the Fever plus 3.5, and the under in the Timberwolves Thunder.
3-teamer from Brian. Javon, what you got for me?
Got a Missouri 2-teamer. KC Royals. St. Louis Cardinals. That's 1. WNBA 1. New York Liberty. Dallas Wings. That's another. And Colorado. First 5 plus 1.5. Seattle Mariners. Houston Astros under first 5.
Chalk parlay for the day. To get back on track, chalk parlay. We'll go Angels money line. They hot, man. Let's keep it rolling with them. And we'll pair them up with the... Let's go to the dub. Liberty money line. 2-team chalk. Liberty money line.
Guys got to catch the fever. I don't know what's going on today.
The Liberty, man. Liberty. And one more parlay for y'all. I'll go with the... Let's go KC Royals, Washington Nationals, And let's get some plus money. One more. I would probably go, if you want to, you could do double Red Sox if you want to. That's what I would do. Orioles are ass. I'm sorry, Brian.
Killing me. You're gonna sweep the board today. You guys.
I'm sorry, Brian. I'm sorry.
They'll be happy today. Gunnar Henderson and my boy Holiday, they're gonna homer. It's gonna be
It's sad sack
sad
of
time.
hoes. Sad sack of hoes over there, man.
They're the perfect team for me. They're 16-35 or whatever they are. That's just the type of team I'm jumping on. I don't know their exact record, but it's around that.
We'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see if they can shake that shit or if they're just bad.
Thank me later. Thank me later.
Any final words from me, fellas, before we get out of here for the day?
Let's go O's.
Yeah, I doubt that, but we'll be more professional tomorrow. That's for damn sure.
Yes, we will try to be more professional tomorrow. Be on the lookout. I gotta burn that hat for y'all today, man. Rangers are fucking ass. Damn. I'll post it probably on Twitter and Instagram. So be on the lookout for
I
that.
remember when Rod burned that Gonzaga hat outside his house. That was a funny one. That was years ago, though.
Yeah. Didn't he resurrect that hat? That hat's still somewhere, or he had a replica or something, because I seen that in his background.
Yeah.
Rose from the dead or something.
The things these sports teams make us do. Damn. We love it, though. Wouldn't want to do anything else, man. Money making Saturday. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Make it a winning day. We out here.